So it looks like the relationship between Trump and Elon is officially over. And here's a quick update on what we know so far. So I really hope that you learned something new. And if you did, please consider dropping a thumbs up and subscribing if you feel like we earned it. I'll make sure that as things continue to develop, I do my part in keeping you guys up to date. So, just in, President Trump says his relationship with Elon Musk is over. So, what exactly is going on? For those that have no idea, let me catch you up very quickly. Elon Musk was leaving the DOGE, and in the process of leaving the DOGE, his 130 days were up. So, according to that, the big, beautiful bill was being presented to Congress. They had to vote on it. The big part that Elon contributed to our government was that he spent 130 days to try to remove fraud and waste from our government spending. Now, the unfortunate part about this big, beautiful bill is supposedly it's supposed to add 3.5 to $5 trillion to our current $36 trillion deficit, which again is counterproductive. Trump ran on the idea and principle that he was going to remove fraud and waste, that we were going to reduce the deficit. But this big, beautiful bill simply does the opposite. It adds and contributes to it. And Elon was not in support of this. Previously, he just commented on it. He commented on it and said, you can have a big bill and you can have a beautiful bill, but you cannot have both. It was a very cordial way to say that you simply disagree with it. And there's nothing wrong with that because, again, friends can always disagree. It doesn't mean that it has to be distasteful. And then Elon Musk took to X, which is previously known as Twitter, and stated that this bill is an abomination. It's disgusting, and everyone that is voting for it knows it because of how much it's adding to our deficit. Now, obviously, that's a little bit more of a distasteful way to be against this bill. Elon Musk, one of the most influential people, I would say, in the world, has a lot of influence. So I'm not too sure if this was just moments before they were trying to vote on it and hope that it doesn't get passed. But the big part about this is that definitely got a lot of people's attention, a lot of people, especially from the Republican Party, where then Trump responded and said that Elon is pretty much losing it and he was running thin on his last few days while at the, with the Trump administration. Now it's been a continuous back and forth. Not only just disagreeing about this big, beautiful bill and now taking personal digs. Elon Musk, one of the biggest and personal digs that I think is impossible to come back from, is stating that Trump is part of the Epstein files, and that is the reason that he has not fully released those files. Now, this has been previously debunked by even the attorney of Epstein. Nonetheless, it's a personal dig, and in some form, it's insinuating that he was partaking in pedophile activities, as that is what Epstein is known for. So based off of that, then it really got personal, where both parties, Trump and Elon, started going back and forth, and then Trump threatening Elon to remove EV subsidies, which is again a huge way that Tesla makes billions of dollars every single quarter, and in some cases actually would be in the red if it wasn't for these government subsidies. So now, I would say 3 to 4 days since this drama all started, this is what we know so far. I assume that my relationship with Elon Musk is over, and I have more important things to do than to talk with Elon. Elon will face serious repercussions if he finances the Democrats. And again, that is a personal threat in my opinion, saying that obviously Elon had huge influence when it came down to Trump's campaign. Not only was he Trump's biggest donor, but obviously having the influence that Elon Musk does and his support, I do believe contributed to Trump's success. Now, if he were to now switch sides and support the Democrats, it sounds like Trump would not be a fan of that. Elon has taken to Twitter where he simply wanted to create his own political party that actually represents 80% of Americans. This would be something very different than the Democrats and the Republicans. But again, I believe that's too far-fetched, as that would need to be a huge shift that were to actually happen. Although most of us, I think, would agree, would Congress actually support it? I don't believe so. The Epstein allegations are old news. This is what Trump responds. Even Epstein's lawyers have said I have nothing to do with it. It's old news. This is what Trump stated in response to that claim. Elon has deleted many of his posts of last night about President Trump, along with the Epstein list. Man, what a public breakup happening in front of us. And again, obviously, this is much bigger than the whole Kendrick and Drake situation. But obviously, seeing these two kind of battle in front of the world, I do not believe, especially with the uncertainty that's going with our current economy, our current negative GDP report of Q1 of 2025, and then also seeing our bond yields skyrocket, it's not making America look very calculated, to say the least. It looks like two very big egos clashed and the breakup happened in front of all of America and all of the world. So again, moving forward, what we understand is that Elon Musk has now deleted any post that is linking President Trump to Epstein. I don't know if that's for legal reasons, because if you're making false accusations, can it be considered defamation of character? And is that really a fight that you want to pick against the President of the United States? I also think it's important to note that, again, the big threat that Trump made is that Elon Musk will face serious consequences if he funds the Democrats. I think it's completely different if Elon Musk were to try to start a new political party, which I don't really think will find or catch much traction. But nonetheless, it seems like he definitely is not encouraging Elon to switch sides. And if he does, then possible repercussions might follow. The other thing that I think is very important to take into consideration is the previous concerns that we had before all of this trauma happened, and that's our issues with China. So again, trade war is still very much present, and the certainty is the only thing that's holding the market up as of right now. If any uncertainty begins to present itself next week, supposedly the Treasury Secretary Bessent is supposed to meet with Chinese officials on Monday, June 9th. We'll see how things actually develop and if things actually go our way. If they don't and we see more signs of uncertainty, then we should expect markets to drop. If we see signs of certainty, then markets should continue to recover. China's central bank conducts outright reverse repo operations, injecting 1 trillion yuan, 139 billion USD into the market. So again, pretty much just pumping or artificially pumping markets as things do look uncertain for the Chinese market. The other thing that I want to make sure that you understand is I found this post to be quite interesting. It says 52% of consumers cannot cover a $2,000 emergency expense using only savings, according to a Fed survey. Furthermore, 31% of Americans cannot handle a $500 unexpected expenditure. A record 37% of respondents described inflation and prices of their main financial challenge in 2024. By comparison, in 2023, 2022, and 2016, this percentage was 35, 33, and 8% respectively. Inflation remains as a major issue in America. And this is the part that I think a lot of people are confused about, is that they look at our inflation rate and they believe that inflation is incredibly low. But for those that do not know how the CPI data report or the Consumer Price Index report, which is known as our inflation report that's tracked every single month, is calculated. I live stream these reports and I break it down in front of the people that subscribe, because I think every American should understand what these reports are telling us. They really just take the past 12 months into consideration, not taking the true rate of inflation that we've experienced in the past 4 to 8 years. You are not going or losing your mind. You are paying significantly more, 30 to 50, and sometimes maybe even 80% more than what you were paying 4 to 8 years ago. It's not about Republicans, it's not about Democrats. It's simply that, yes, it is incredibly expensive right now to live in the United States, to put food on the table and to rent and to have a mortgage. This is not controversial. This is just understanding how things are actually calculated. So next time, or even right now, if you actually want to see how the CPI data report is calculated, then again, look it up, Google search it. The CPI data report truly just takes the last 12 months into consideration, not really showing the true value of inflation and the impact that it's having on Americans. We're living in a world now where it's more cost effective to rent than it is to own. Mortgages, especially as bond yields, the 10-year treasury, continue to go up, it will make it more unaffordable for Americans to take out a mortgage and afford an actual property, as mortgage rates are 6.5 to 7.5, to possibly even 8% if you have fair to good credit. So again, we need to make sure that we are paying attention to these reports, not just at the face value, but truly understand what it is telling us and how it is that they are calculating. And again, I'll make sure that I do my part in keeping you guys up to date. I appreciate you guys' time. I hope that earned your thumbs up. I hope to see you for our live trading session on Monday. I trade live every single morning. You get to see every entry and every exit I take within that session. If you want to tune on in, it's the second link in the description down below. I hope that earned your thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.